And we're back with Nye County, Chuck Augustin, Tom Gibson. Anyway, I was on a roll. That case really ticks me off to this very day because it shows the insider trading and corruption, and Lukopoulos did not actually do anything wrong. He agreed to trade vote for vote, but he reneged. Murray actually voted and pushed and did everything she was supposed to do. And so at the trial, I was asking her, when I had her on the stand, she was like, I was asking her what kind of a deal she got, what promises were made, and at the time, the Attorney General who was prosecuting the matter, named Conrad Hafen, stands up and he said, "We will stipulate in front of the jury," and he did in front of the jury, that this woman has done nothing wrong. I'm like, okay, I win, because if she's done nothing wrong, and God knows that was not true, my guy had to go free. Well, the jury, when they convicted him, because I found out later it's because he was a politician and had to go down, said, yeah, you're right. We agree that she did more than him, but we are instructed by the judge not to consider other people. We can only consider, the people in front of us, which is true and not true. Yes, you're not supposed to consider other people in the big picture, saying, oh, well, gee, if so-and-so didn't get charged, then this person's no good, or the case against him is no good. But at the same time, if you can take into consideration all the facts, and the jury can consider, well, if the state is not going after another person for the exact same legal theory, and we know she did these things, how could you in good conscience vote to find that person guilty? Anyway, coincidentally, her husband, the reason she wanted this so badly to go through, her husband was on the fire department and would have got a raise out of the deal. Oh, gee, Lorraine, so to this very day, I just cringe when I think about, my personal experience on that one case and the dirty dealings that were done, and they're dirty political dealings, but they're not necessarily illegal. Yeah. But the state made it so in this case because the Attorney General at the time was a Democrat. Lukopoulos was a Republican. They wanted to get Lukopoulos off the county commission so they could put one of their cronies in who would vote for more money for the sheriff's office and in the fire department. And Sheriff DeMeo was also, I say he wasn't like involved in the corruption end of it, but he was the one that was all hot to trot to get it prosecuted because he wanted his money for the sheriff's office. Yeah. So the whole thing stinks. But and then when we brought it up about how much money these people are making, I'm sorry I had to go back into my memory banks, but it's money breeds corruption, and there's a lot of it going around here. 36 million worth.
Okay, Noah, can we show that last list of money? Now, this is incorporating the average salaries for 2016, taking the Nye County Sheriff's Office, the DA, Justice of the Peaces, 3 of them, the general government directors, the commissioners, and then everybody of the Nye County government. There's 367 on salary that I could determine. And then we take, again, it's separate, but it's controlled by the same commissioners. The Pahrump budget are salaries from the firefighters and then the other government workers. So you see, of all the people up there, probably the commissioners are the only reasonable salaries, in my opinion, when you average it out. And they probably take most
20,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not very much.
Yeah, it's not much at all. Okay, I want to change gears now and talk about something near and dear to my heart. And that's the question of what in the world's going on in the world. And most people look at things like North Korea, and they read the headlines and they interpret things based on the headlines, and they move on to the next subject. And it's not like that. Everything, someone once said, everything in politics, there's a reason for it. Nothing's arbitrary. And I firmly believe it. When you look at North Korea and the history, it's unlike any country we could even begin to imagine in this country. Even though we're relatively young compared to the rest of the world, North Korea basically, North and South Korea were born after the World War II in 1945, when the Soviet Union and America decided that the Soviet Union would take North Korea at the 38th parallel, and the U.S. would take the South. Okay, Dave, we got you on the line.
Say again.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always supported the fire department and the sheriff department. I wouldn't vote for that sheriff, but I support them and always have. But I didn't realize they were getting that kind of money. And I do know Lane Murray and Tim Murray very well. They moved there, moved to Timbuktu someplace down there. They stole the Democratic shed. Or no, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, what I wanted to say is I heard the sheriff talking tonight. What's the name of that guy? I heard Dave Champion talk tonight, and he's going to run for sheriff, and he sure got my support. I don't like this old sheriff here anyway. She's all right, but I don't. She's not a real good sheriff.
No.
Can't even step off a 9-inch porch. I need somebody on there that's going to protect me. And I think Dave Champion do a good job. I knew about this a while back, but I kept quiet about it. But I heard him tonight on television, on the news, and he's going to run. Good sheriff in here. And I think Tony DeMeo is probably the best sheriff we've ever had. And that's about all I got. I got a lot to say, but I've been trying to keep it quiet lately. I go down to the commission board, and pretty soon I'm going to tell them I'm going to go out and find me a telephone pole to talk to, because I get more results out of it, and I get talking to them people.
Dave, I love it when you go up to the microphone. I always look forward to what you're going to say. Dave, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. You got anything else for us?
No, that's about all. I'm keeping kind of quiet nowadays. This old sheriff gets a hold of me, she'll have me up there cracking rocks or something.
Yeah, don't worry about that, but I agree with you, though. There's probably a lot better choices for sheriff, and thank God in a couple of years we'll have a crack at it, getting a better person in there. Someone that knows the law.
I'm going to sign off now.
Okay, Dave, thanks for calling. Okay, should I go back?
Was my mic on?
Real quick, North Korea, if you fly over North Korea, for one, you'll get shot down. But satellite imagery, at night, you see nothing but one small bit of light, which is coming from its capital, Pyongyang. And that's where basically the leadership of North Korea reside. All the rest of the people are basically without electricity. They have very, almost primitive electrical communications. There's 3 TV channels, only one on a daily basis. The other 2 are weekends only. And it's just unlike anything we can imagine. The people are basically starving and have been for a long time.
They look pretty happy on TV when they're kissing his butt on television.
Again, everything you see and
Staged.
everything we see is staged.
Yeah.
Sure. You look at everything, I think, saying, is this for real? Whether it be America or North Korea.
Right. Did you see that when CNN got caught? They were staging these. It was about Islamic terrorism, and they brought these people together at a table. And they were telling them, how to act, what to say, and the mic was hot, and they didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And they were bringing people in, and they were like bringing people to stand there to make the crowd look bigger, even though they had nothing to do with the event.
Right, and basically that was my point of bringing up North Korea. We look at them as probably the worst case scenario of any country in the world. But yet, what direction has America been headed in? And to me, it's very, very similar to where North Korea is. It's a totalitarian state that is basically revolves around the ruling party and the peons who are basically trying to survive.
But in this country, we have our own version of that. It's called the deep state.
Yeah. And that's where I want to go, especially on the last segment, is this whole concept of collectivism versus individualism. And it goes back for centuries, the debate. But certainly, in my opinion, the direction we've headed throughout my lifetime and before has been away from the individual into this government monster that has grown and grown, along with the corporate monopolies, along with the police state that are supporting and defending them, not us individuals. And what is the difference between that and North Korea, basically?
We have a similar situation. We have Nye County, which is a microcosm of what you're talking about with the federal government, because they just keep want to hire more and more people to create more bureaucracy and expand their mini infrastructure. And the federals do the same thing, but the federals have been doing it longer. They got more money and they're better at it. But it's the same warped mentality. Is that it's all about making more money for the statists and making, well, not just money, but making them more comfortable. Like, just say if it was the police union, the head of the police union just wants to make more money for the cops, give them fewer hours, make it really, really, really cushy, and they've got guns, so they don't have to worry about who's in charge. So they work 3 or 4 days a week, and they get what, $150,000 a year if you stick around long enough, plus all the benefits. So anyway, that said, Nye County is a microcosm of what's going on federal.
Okay, we got to go to break. We'll continue in the last segment.